Hey guys, it's your girl Londyn, and today I have a very exciting video for you. Today my Natasha Denona Glam palette arrived from Sephora, so I'm going to go ahead and do a first impressions and a look or two on the palette. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified of all my new videos. And if you haven't already, head on over to Instagram and follow me over there so you can see pictures of this, pictures of looks, and pictures about my life. So if you're looking forward to seeing what the Glam palette can do, then go ahead and keep on watching because we are about ready to get glamified. Guys, Natasha Denona has done it again. I mean, does she ever stop? I don't think so. For me, Natasha Denona is an auto-buy brand. The only ones I do not have from Natasha Denona are the first two palettes, the really large ones, and also I think it's called the Star palette. And at this point, I feel like her formulas have changed so much, the aesthetic has changed so much that I don't really need to go back and get those because she really is putting those types of colors into other palettes. So her newest palette is the Glam palette. And yes, she did just release the Bronze palette for the summer, but here we are, and we're going full glam. So I have already taken it out, but this is the unicorn. Look at that. It's so beautiful. Like, even that is gorgeous. And then so pretty. Oh, I actually am really loving these kind of mid-size palettes. I think they're so cute. $65. They're gorgeous. I like this plastic packaging better than used to kind of be a vinyl packaging. I like these much better. On the back, it shows where you can like easily pop out the shadows if you want to and put them in their own palettes if you want to make I think they call it a Franken shadow palette where you just have like a lot of different shadows inside of one palette. Of course, there's a huge mirror, but I won't blind you with it. But this, guys, that's the freaking palette right there. It is beautiful. So this is supposed to be able to make everyday looks and some very glam night looks. But I mean, if glam is your daytime aesthetic, then get it, you know what I mean? But it's supposed to have kind of an even hue of both, so you really can take it from day to night. And that's what I kind of want to do in this video is I want to do a look that is more kind of day, and then I want to see if I can take that look tonight without taking the shadow off. Just by adding some additional shadows, can I take that to a night look? So could you wear this maybe to work or out and about, or maybe to, I don't know, a lunch date with friends, and then maybe you have a date with your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or a group of friends, or you're just going out somewhere and you want to amp up the look a little bit. Can you do that without having to remove all of your eyeshadow? So I kind of want to play around with that and kind of see what we can do and what we can create. What is interesting about this palette, and I say interesting in a questionable way. Instead of having eyeshadow color names, so instead of having, I don't know, porcupine, sunflower, daisy as names, everything is labeled as center lid, outer eyelid, inner corner, crease, and transition, smoke, blend, lash line, kind of brow bone, kind of where you would place them on the eyes. I think that is interesting because I think that it's good if you're just learning how to do makeup and maybe you really need something to guide you and show you kind of traditionally how you do makeup. Like this is what they have for the brow bone, this shimmer. Now I usually don't use shimmer on my brow bone. I usually use a flat matte kind of cream color, but traditionally it was more of kind of sparkle-esque satin color. It has, you know, the lash line. The lash line has kind of this darker color right here. Absolutely, traditionally that would be a lash line color, but maybe you want to use a lighter color for the lash line. So this to me is very traditional of what makeup basics are, where you apply shadows, and I think that this can be really good for somebody who really kind of needs that format to say, okay, I'm looking at this palette, what colors are supposed to go in the crease, what colors are supposed to go on the outer, what colors are supposed to go on the lids. I think that this can really be helpful. I think if you're somebody who is either more creative, doesn't follow makeup rules, just does what you want to do, then these names kind of are a little bit annoying because it says outer eyelid, but you know you're not putting it on your outer eyelid. You're putting it all over your eyelid, or you're putting the shimmer in your crease, because you really don't necessarily follow the rules. What I do love about this palette is, unlike kind of the smoky palette from Colourpop, where it was just grays and blacks and kind of silvers, this has hues of almost undertones of pinks, like very soft, pale pinks, some like very soft browns, some like mid-tone kind of brown grays. So this is a deep palette, but it's not necessarily a traditional, what I would consider a smoky palette. Like I said, like the smoke palette from Colourpop, or even the cremated palette from Jeffree Star, where those feel very traditional smoky eye. This really does feel a little different. This to me feels like smoky eye with elegance. I don't know, weird, but I'm very excited about it, and I really want to go ahead and get started on the look. So let's go ahead and let's figure out what we're gonna do. Okay, so per usual, I have my color switch with me, and I have my, of course, brushes over here. So what I'm using right now is the Jaclyn JH30, and I'm going to take, I'm going to take this color right here, and this just says that it's blend. So it's kind of just like your traditional, I don't want to say skin tone because everybody's skin tone is different, but kind of your traditional kind of tanny, peachy color is what I'm going to use just to put here in my crease. And I have already put on my eyeshadow primer, and I did use the NYX Proof It per usual. So that is there. And as you can see, it gave a little bit of color. So you can see there is a little bit of color here compared to this eye. So in the pan, it doesn't look like it would do much, but it actually did provide a little bit of color. So I think that would make a nice blending shade on the eye. Now I think that if you are deeper complected, then this shade may be one of those shades that creates a bit of a problem. I think that it might have the potential to pull ashy. But again, you know, I can't really speak for it because I don't have a deeper complexion, but it just seems like it has a potential to pull a bit ashy, because even on me here, it's more kind of like that kind of tanny taupe, but on my eye, it's almost pulling a bit darker. So I feel like the deeper the complexion, if mid-tone is pulling darker, I think that this may start to get a little ashy gray the deeper the complexion goes. The next color, again, because we're doing more of a daytime look, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this color right here called Smoke, because this is what you're supposed to do to smoke it out apparently, but we are going to use that in the crease again, and we're going to take, let me see, let's do a little bit, I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush just to kind of put that in. So we're going to use the JH35, and again we're going to use Smoke, and we're going to go just slightly, ooh, okay, that was, okay, we're going to have to rearrange. So what we're going to do with this, instead of putting it in the crease, we are actually going to put it on the outer corner, because I barely went into that, and that was much deeper than I anticipated. So we're going to keep this right on the outer. Yeah, so we're going to put that down, and then we're going to blend it out. Wow, that was a lot deeper than I anticipated. So definitely, okay, so although the shade names to me are a bit annoying as far as, because I'm not necessarily using them the way that she has designated for their uses to be, I would heed the warning, because this definitely is a smoke color, and it definitely got my attention, because originally this was going to go in the crease, and it said, no ma'am, not today, we are not going to do that. So I want to make sure we're not getting any patchiness over here, because clearly this is not my dominant side, so this one's always like, you know, easier to kind of blend and stuff. So sometimes it's hard to tell, is it seeming patchy because it's patchy, or is it seeming patchy because it's me? So we're going to take the original brush that we used, the JH30, we're going to use the color switch, and now we're going to go in and we're just going to kind of blend that out a bit and see what we can do, because we are already getting, our daytime look is going, girl, we called in sick to work today, and we are going out early, and we are making this a full day event. That's what this shadow is trying to do to me. And we need to walk that back a little bit and say, well, that rent is due. So we are going to have to go in today. So we need to go ahead and blend this out as best we can, because, girl, we're about to be late, and we need to get in. We don't got time to stop for Starbucks. We don't got time to stop for the gas. So we're really hoping that that little yellow light that's on doesn't create any problems, because we have got to go. So I think that it did blend out very nicely. I really do like it. But now I'm looking, and there's only 5 mattes in the shadow. So I think that may create a bit of an issue, because we had Blend, which is the one that we originally, I keep feeling like I have like a little brush hair right there. We have Blend, which is what we originally used in the crease. We have Smoke, which we ended up using in the outer corner. You have the Lash Line color, which is a deep kind of gray. You have Crease, which is a very light taupe. And then you have Transition, which is almost kind of like a pasty, creamy white. So really, I don't know that we have much more that we can put in our crease. I think we are going to have to, okay, we're going to use the Colourpop E16. We are going to have to use what she has designated as the crease, which is kind of this color right here. This kind of like taupey color. Now this is, again, is where I'm seeing that there may be an issue, especially if you are deeper complected. I think there's going to be an issue, because there's not, these are very, there are some deeper mattes in here, but I just don't know how versatile it's going to be. The shimmers look amazing, and I think if you're very fair complected, this may really create a problem, because I don't know if you're necessarily going to be able to do a day per se look, because there's not a lot of mattes, and the mattes that are here are kind of deeper. So like I said, we are using that crease color. We're going to take it a little bit lower. And so like even that is pulling a bit more. I mean, it's a taupey color, but it's pulling a bit more deep than I would have liked it to pull. So again, I mean, I'm liking the palette so far, but my plan was to do what it says it can do, which is a day to nighttime look. You're supposed to be able to do like some kind of day smoky looks and then nighttime smoky looks. And what I'm feeling like is that it's really a nighttime palette, maybe a New Year's palette, which is fine. It's just that my original intention was something different. That's what it is. So it's kind of like if you were going to McDonald's and you're really, really wanting that strawberry milkshake, knowing that that machine is never working, and you get there feeling like, yes, it's going to be working today, and it's not working, and now you're getting a freaking Coke because, well, I'm here, but you're not having the shake. And it's not that you don't want the Coke, it's just that your intentions were you thought you were going to be able to have the shake. So I'm going to go in again with our original brush, which usually is the brush I use to blend out a lot of things, the JH30, and I'm just going to try to nicely blend that. The shadows are blending nicely, and like I said, I do like them. That was very, it was a lot. It was a lot for me to take in right away like that. So we are now going to go in and we're going to do a brow bone highlight. So the brow bone highlight, the only thing, I'm not going to do the shimmer because that's not what I do for my brow bone. The only thing that is even going to halfway be able to be a brow bone highlight for me is this color transition. And this is kind of like a super creamy, really gray based kind of hue of white. So I'm actually very concerned that this is going to pull really gray on my brow bone, but we're going to try it nonetheless. And it definitely, yeah, definitely is pulling gray. Which, I mean, is fine. It's a smoke palette. I mean, so I'm not... I mean, what do you expect? It's a smoky palette. It's a glam palette. But, again... I see this presenting issues. If you're fairer than me and you don't use shimmer, I think you may have to pull from another palette to get a brow bone. And I think that, again, if you're deeper complected, I think this is going to pull really, really gray, like newspaper gray. I mean, it gave something, but it definitely didn't give like a quote-unquote brightness per se, but it's good. So what we're going to do now is, because we're just doing a daytime look like you'd go to work, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put on our lid shade. And our lid shade, because we're going to work, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this color. It says Center Eyelid. And this is like a pinky color. So typical NATASHA Denona, pinky gold, feels very nice. And we're going to just put this all over our lid. Now, I know for some people, you may be saying, girl, that is a lot for work. But, funny enough, this actually would be a look that I would 110% wear to work. With a pair of jeans and a sweater on, like it was all good, because that's just what I like to do. So, as you guys know, I do bring shimmers up partially into my crease because I have hooded eyes, and if it's going to travel there anyway, I would rather choose where it's going to go and like actually have some formation to the placement than it kind of just going off on its own and doing whatever it wants. So we're going to take the brush that we did our brow bone, which is the Luxie 246 Precision Crease, and we're going to go back into the same color we were just in, and we're just going to put it here because it is difficult for me to get my finger kind of right there. So we're going to come in here. I mean, this is a beautiful palette. Like, I'm holding out hope that there's going to be a New Year's this year. That's what I'm holding out hope for. That we are going to be able to have a nice New Year's Eve and spend it with friends and family. And I think that this will be amazing to wear for it because it's just very beautiful. We're going to go back in again, our original JH30, and we're going to just buff the edges of that shimmer, because although we purposely put it there, I don't like it to look too cut creasy. But I also don't want it to look too kind of haphazard. Just something right there in the middle. Just a nice kind of little blend. So, just like to get this. Just to get some of those harsh edges away. And like I said, this is a very nice look. It was unexpected how nighttime this is going to kind of be for me. So I think this is very pretty. I think that because we are going to work, that we are going to go ahead and we are going to take our angled brush. So we're going to take this Morphe angled brush, and we are going to go into the lash line color here that they have designated, which is kind of just like this deep brown taupe color. Clearly gray undertone. Everything, clearly in this palette has a gray undertone. And we are going to go ahead and use this as our liner. We're going to just lightly stamp this across the lash line, which I really do like using this technique, because I think if you're somebody who doesn't like gel liners or doesn't like a felt tip liner, this can be a nice way to deepen up your lash line without having to make it look super harsh. And you don't have to use brown, you don't have to use black for this. You could literally use any color. So if you want to get fun with your eyeliner, but you don't really want to spend a lot of money on liners or things like that, look at using your shadows. Or if you have oily lids and you find that liners tend to come down onto your face, you utilize your shadows in different ways. So that is very nice, and you always have the option to smoke it out too, but that's just really nice, really pretty. We're going to take just a smidge of this smoke color again, which is what we put in our outer V, and we're just going to take this and we're going to put a little bit of this just here into the waterline, just to kind of balance a little bit of it out, and it's just going to be right in the corner, because again, we're going to work, so we don't want it to be too much, but we also don't want to leave it blank and bare. So beautiful. So there we have that. We're going to go ahead, we're going to put on our mascara, which we're going to use the Kosas, the Big Clean mascara, which I really love because I think it really lengthens your lashes. I think that has a nice formula. I think it gives a nice tug to them. And again, we're going to work, so this is going to be perfect. Very nice, like very good. I know some people were upset that Natasha came out with this palette almost immediately after the bronze palette. I mean, we just got a palette from her, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago. But, you know, a lot of releases ended up getting pushed back because of production. So I think that we're going to be seeing a lot of releases from people that otherwise should have been spread out until at least probably December, January, when things can get better under control with production. So see how pretty that is? This mascara is amazing. If you guys need a new mascara, definitely try this Kosas, the Big Clean mascara, because it's so nice. Like, I really just love it. It's very, very, very pretty. Really like it. Not it's not like a clumpy formula, but if you definitely wanted to go that route, I think you could continue to just put coats and coats. I know it's like, oh, why would you want to do that? But there are some people who happen to like that. I mean, I don't mind either way. There are some times where I intentionally do want a little, I don't want to say clump, but I don't mind a good spider lash every now and again, I should say. There we go. And then even though we're going to work, we do want to hit our lower lash line, because I think that that just really brings everything together. Is kind of having your lower lash line mascara done. So we have the Clinique one. And this is literally called lower lash line mascara. And I just think that this is something that is essential for the lower lashes, because otherwise, I think that the lashes, especially on the bottom, tend to get a bit dusty and they cannot pop as much as they should. And I think that it also helps to just open your eyes a little bit. Kind of like very 1960s, 1970s, kind of doughy-eyed look, without necessarily having to do that white rimmed liner in the waterline. So I think this is really pretty. So I'm very excited. Again, we're going to work, so we're just going to do a nice glossy lip. Now, this is from the Colourpop, this like sunflower collection that they just came out. This is Always Sunny. Again, hate the applicator, trash, garbage, hot garbage. It's stiff, it doesn't move, but I really like the color. So we're going to put a little of that on and just add a little something to the lip, little sparkle and shine. It smells so good. Very nice. So this is our going to work look using the Glam palette. So I'm going to bring you guys in. We're going to take a little bit of a closer look, and then we're going to get into look 2, where we're going to see what can we add to this look to take it from a daytime glam to a glam glam. So 2 shakes, and I'll take you guys in a little closer. Okay guys, so we are back. I have taken some photos with this look and they look gorgeous. The photos of this look really good. Like, this is a beautiful freaking look. I really like it. I know I was apprehensive when I was putting it on, but again, I think it's because I didn't manage my own expectations. I thought this was going to be light and bright glam, and when things turned out to be slightly darker, it threw me off and it took me some time to readjust. But now that I've seen things in my bathroom mirror, in my camera, I'm really liking this look. Like, this is a very pretty. So now let's see if we can spruce this up. Take this day to the night, because you know, nighttime is the right time. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to leave the outer corner as is because it's already pretty deep. What we're going to do though to kind of amp this up, because the outer corner, we really just had that one color. The crease, we really kind of only had that one color. They're just even with shimmers. Like, there's not really another shimmer that I could necessarily put in the outer corner or anything like that. What we're going to do is we're going to, well, you know what? Hold that thought. Maybe we can. Maybe we can do a little something. Hold on now. See, you start talking and you start thinking a little bit. So what I'm going to do is use this Wayne Gloss number 20, and it's just kind of like a pencil brush. I'm going to take this color right here, and it says Outer Eyelid. And it's kind of like a deep gray brown shimmer. I'm going to put that in my outer corner on top of what we have, just to kind of see and give it a little pizzazz, see if it maybe gets a little deeper, just kind of see what happens, right? Because we're just trying things out. So let's just kind of, now remember, we have mascara on, oh yeah, we have mascara on too, so we're also working around that. So I want to see like what happens with this. Oh yeah, you definitely can see, oh wow. You can definitely see the different dimension in this outer V compared to this outer V, just with that little bit. So, okay, yeah. That's awesome. And we'll come back and we'll blend it out a little bit. We don't want to blend it out too much because we want the color to, wow. Okay, I keep saying wow because I'm like, I really like that. So, all right. So this is a nice palette for that versatile guy and gal on the go, where you know you got to go to work, but afterwards maybe you're going to go into the city. I live in Jersey, so the city's New York, and you're going to see some friends, and you got to take a bag with you to work, but you can't be packing everything. I mean, we really got to call it what it is. We can't take 15 foundations. We can't take 16 palettes. We really have to be strategic. I think this is going to be it. This is an amazing, holy crap, this is an amazing outer V color. I would not have thought of a satin to have been an outer V color. Really, really, really like that. And like I said, I just want to lightly blend that. So we're going to take the Wayne Gloss number 6. And when I say blend, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to blend it up here with the top. Blend a little bit out here. I just want it to look streamlined and flawless into the look. But I'm not trying to kind of blow it out or anything. This looks really, really pretty. Like, I'm just kind of blown away. Like, I know it sounds a little dramatic because it's a palette, but yeah, I like, even just that, I think changed the look. I mean, honestly, if that's all you were able to do, you had a quick, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe you had to use the restroom real quick and go in and kind of just put a little bit of that on, I think you'd be ready, set, ready to go. What we're going to do next to really kind of take it and amp it up, because we have that, is we're going to change clearly our lid shade. So we had originally used this center eyelid, which was kind of like a pinky, kind of silvery type look. And what we're going to do is I really want to kind of make a real change. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to use this color Center Lid on the outer part of the eye, and then we're going to use, I keep saying this color when it's really just telling you where to place it. We're going to use this inner corner right here in the inner part of the eye. So basically we're going to use a dark silver on the outer part and a lighter silver on the inner part. So this, oh my gosh, that's going to be the outer part. Let's see how this goes. Oh, whoo, guys, holy crap. Oh wow, with that color that we had already put on the lid, oh man, that is, stop the freaking madness. Okay. See, sometimes you gotta just sit and play with makeup. Like, you can't, like, I know it says, like, where you should put things, but you gotta just play with it. You gotta just feel it. Like, take a chance. It's just makeup. It's not a big deal. You can wipe it off. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is, guys. And these are layering so nicely on each other. These shimmers are so freaking smooth that they just layer effortlessly on top of each other. And I really like the look that I have right now. Just this nice kind of gradient of what we had and this deeper silver. Like, and, you know, sometimes silvers, and I know that they're silver, so it's like duh. Sometimes they can look a bit too metallic. This is beautiful. We're just taking, again, our Wayne Goss number 6 brush. We're going to do a little blend here at the top. And then we're going to hit right in between these two colors just so it has more of a seamless kind of blend. Less of kind of the line of demarcation. But we don't want to take any of the colors away, so we just want to be real light with it. And again, that blended effortlessly. Again, you could be done. This is another freaking look. You could be done. But we're not, because we're about ready to add that center color. So let me get back to this brush. This is our Luxie 246 again. Now we're going to go in with the, if you remember, this inner corner. And it's this kind of lighter silver shade. So this is what we're going to go in with. Okay, I am like amped freaking about this palette now, guys. I mean, it was already amped, but I'm like amped. We're going to take it in. And now we are completely covering that kind of pinky silver shade that we had earlier. This is just beautiful. Oh. And these two colors, these two silvers blend so nice together. Like, the gradient, like this is the eye where we have the two silvers. This is the eye where we still have kind of like the pinky and then the deep silver. Like, it just, they are blending so beautifully together. This is a nice palette if you are somebody who always wanted to do kind of like that traditional New Year's Eve eye with the silvers and the glitters, but you didn't think you'd be able to pull it off. I think this is done in such a way. The undertones, the kind of really nice gray undertones that are in this palette, I think make it be absolutely beautiful and very, very workable for everyone. I whipped it off, and now I'm just going to go over the line right here for this. That way it's not too harsh. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh, guys, so freaking beautiful. Okay, so since we're here, now we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shadows out of a 15 pan palette. So 9 shadows out of a 15 pan palette so far. Let's go ahead and let's work on this lower lash line. Well, let's do, yeah, let's do our lower lash line. So we're going to, now remember, we had the lash line, which was just kind of the brown color on before, but now we're taking it a little bit more. We're going to take that color again, but we're going to take it completely inner to outer, because we really want this to get deep. And I think sometimes people don't realize kind of the change this is going to make when you go inner to outer, but this is from one end of the lash to the other end of the lash underneath, taking that brown color. This is only the outer third to the inner third. You see how different that makes the eye look? This eye looks very smoky, very deep. This eye doesn't. That's why when people say it closes their eyelids or it makes it look, now it's a going out look, that is the difference. Taking a deeper, whether it's a shadow or cream liner on the bottom, that's the difference in the look. If you just want to have a little bit of a black or a brown, just take it partial way in and you can still have that kind of look. When you do the full thing, it gets a little more kind of like Cleopatra, like you're going out. It really is a statement. So that's what people are talking about when they say like you shouldn't take it in if you don't want to have smaller lids or smaller eyes, because it does tend to close it, and it definitely gives it more of a statement look. Like this looks a little more dramatic for work. Not that you couldn't, but it just looks a little more dramatic. So that is what we have very close to the lash line. The next color that we're going to use, well, actually what we're going to do is we're going to take our pencil brush again, and we're just going to use, let me put this palette down. we're going to use the color we put down, and we're just going to smoke that out. We're not going to take another color to actually smoke it out. We're just going to smoke it out on itself, which you can do. You don't always need a secondary color to smoke out your bottom lash line. You can use just the singular color and smoke it out. So now look at this. This is it smoked out. This is it not smoked out. I didn't use any additional color. I simply just took a brush and smoked it out. So you can definitely do that. Sometimes people think you have to kind of layer all these colors and rigmarole and things together, and it's just not true. Now you can, and I enjoy doing it, and it can help you have dimension if you want to get a little more creative, but you don't have to. So if you're in a pinch, or if you're just kind of learning, you don't want to take things on too much too soon, that's okay. You don't have to. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the pencil brush again. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a little shine at the bottom. So we're going to get interesting with it. We're going to take this color right here. It says Outer Eyelid, and this is a satin brown. Now, because we already have the deeper brown, this is just going to give it a little bit of a pizzazz, but it's not going to give it, like, it's not like a gold popping out of the bottom. And we're just taking it and we're going to put it right here on the center of our lower lash line, just to kind of give it a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit of something extra. Now this you do want to take little by little and layer it, because 1, we have mascara on, 2, you don't want to get any in your eyes, and 3, you want to make sure you're not going to get any kind of like a ton of fallout, because again, you're going from one place to another, so you don't have time really to redo your entire base. So as you can see, just using that little bit kind of took the deeper lower lash line and just opened it just a pop, just a little bit. It just opened it and made it be so it's not quite so dark anymore. So that was our 10th shade that we went ahead and used. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to line our waterline. Now what I want to do with this is I want to take the Colourpop Overboard, and this is the pewter color, and I want to put this in my waterline because I think this will go nicely, because this is kind of like a pewter brown, and because it is a bit metallic, I think that it's pairing very nicely with kind of this glam theme that we have going on here. So you're getting kind of like a little bit of the, oh wow, almost like a penny on the inside of your eye with everything. I think it's just adding a bit more dimension to it. What we're also going to want to do is we're going to want to line the top part of our lash with, I'm sorry, I totally lost my train of thought, with black liner, which we will get to. But since we're here right now, what we're going to do is we're going to put on some more bottom line mascara, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our inner corner highlight also. So our inner corner highlight, let's see, we're going to use, I think we're going to go with the one that actually says inner corner. It's like a pinky color. So it's the 3rd one on the top row. And we're going to take this right here in the inner corner. And I like these because they're pigmented, but at the same time they are nicely buildable. And nothing is, like, these are beautiful shimmers. Nothing appears to be necessarily like a glitter per se. They're just these gorgeous shimmers. So these beautiful reflex of light. And that's what we have. So we literally use, God, what was that, 11 shades? We use the entire, well, we use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 shades out of a 15 shade palette. So we have 11 shades on our lids, and there's only 15 shades in the palette. I don't think that's bad, guys. So let's go ahead. We're going to do our bottom mascara, because now that we have put on some more shadow, we want to make sure our lashes aren't getting too dusty. We want to make sure that they're staying nice and black, and they're also being able to be center stage show. So see, adding more mascara to the bottom, the different. It like brought them back to life again. Sometimes you don't realize when you're putting on liner again and shadow again what it's doing to the bottom lash, and it really is starting to dull it down, and a little hit of mascara again will really kind of bring it back to life. And again, these are things that you can do fairly quickly, because I feel like, you know, if we weren't talking here, this kind of changeover from day to night would have taken maybe 10 minutes tops. Very nice. And then putting that mascara on really kind of showed that little bit of like copper brown, pewter copper brown that we put there in the bottom of our eye right there in our waterline. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to put our black liner on. But what's interesting about this is we are also going to add lashes. We're not going to put any more mascara on the top because we have enough. This is from Velour. This is a black liner and mascara, lash glue in one. So I've never done this before on camera. I tend not to because I'm not super great at putting lashes on, just generally speaking. So we're going to see how this goes. So I'm hoping this goes well, but give me patience. And I think during this part, we'll just kind of speed up this because I can't talk and do this at the same time. This is what the wand looks like right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these on and we're going to see kind of how this goes. So. Okay guys, so this is the lashes. So I'm surprised at how easy I was able to do that on camera. Now the Velour liner and lash glue to me is amazing. I know there's a lot of different companies that have it, but I really love it because if you don't want to put lashes on, you can still use it because it's a liner. It will dry down. It's a black liner. But if you want to put lashes on, you can, like you saw me, you just pop the lash on. And to me, it almost acts like a magnetic glue where like the lash almost pulls to it. And I like it because it gives you time to kind of get those corners down and just press easily into it. I'm not a lash expert. I'm really bad at lashes, so the Velour kind of liner and lash glue has really made me love putting lashes on. It doesn't feel heavy. I don't have to wait for things to dry down and be tacky. I don't have to put it on and then realize they were placed wrong and now I have glue everywhere because you're already putting the liner onto your eyes the way you normally would do a liner. So that kind of bit of error with the kind of glue getting messed up is gone. If you need to pull them off, you just pull it off. And the liner's still there. It doesn't pull the liner off with it. And you just put another line on there and you put these back on. So these, I think it's very user-friendly, the Velour liner, lash glue, and liner. Now, I would love if they came out with more colors because the one issue you do have is that you only have black as a choice. You don't have brown or green or yellow. You don't have any of those as a choice. It is just going to be black. But I love it. I love the look. Guys, we have gone from day to night. We are ready to rock, rock, rock. So like we did before, I'm going to pull you in for 2 shakes. We're going to see this look up close, and then we're going to talk about our final thoughts. Alright guys, so I think these 2 looks came out beautifully. Again, because we're now going out, I think that we're going to use our Bay lipstick from Kaja. It's the heart one. And we're going to use it just right over our gloss because, hey, that's what we have. And this is just a brown color, which I think is going to go very nicely with the colors that we have on. There we go. That is the freaking looks. I really, really like this palette, guys. As you saw, I initially loved it. Natasha Denona is an auto buy. Then I became apprehensive as we got into it because things were looking a little rocky. Again, that's because I didn't manage my expectations. And if I had stopped right there, I probably would have loved this palette because aesthetically, it's beautiful. It's Natasha Denona, so the quality's there. But I wouldn't have used it as much as I should have. I would have put it away and it would have just gone with my collection. Doing that second look, taking it from day to night and not taking any of the eyeshadows off, really seeing, Do they layer over each other? Do they pair with each other? Is this a true versatile palette? That made me truly fall in love with the palette. Not because she's an auto buy, not because I like her quality, but because everything together made this a fantastic palette. It's great quality. NATASHA Denona is fantastic at making these kind of color stories. This palette is extremely versatile. Not only do the shades go together so well, like these undertones work so well together, but they layer over each other. We had a full eye look and the shimmers just layered beautifully over each other to create an entirely different look. So for me, if you're looking for a glam palette, whether it's a day glam or night glam, and you want to have one, I think this is the one to get because it's completely versatile. Like we have just seen what it can actually do. It's a beautiful color story, but it's not just that, it actually works. And we used 11 of 15 shades, guys. You watched me use 11 shades out of 15 shades in the palette for $65. So even if the other 4 didn't work for us, 11 of them did, and they're beautiful and they're gorgeous. I think this is a fantastic look, and I think they were really effortless. They just went on fantastically. I mean, right now, guys, we have a shimmer in our outer corner, 2 shimmers on our freaking lids. This is an entirely shimmer eye look, minus the crease color that we had put in earlier. And it doesn't look that way. This looks gorgeous. This looks beautiful. This doesn't look like, wow, you got glitter and sparkles all over your face. Again, I think that this is glam. This is smoky glam, elegance, sophisticated. This is amped up. This is kind of the grown up version of a glam smoky eye. And I love it and I'm here for it. These lashes are amazing. The velour kind of liquid liner and glue is amazing. I just really love it. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I know this is a long video, but I really think, especially for this palette, that it was needed because I think that it seems like this palette was a one-trick pony. It was a smoky eye, so either you're doing New Year's, you're doing a date night, or you're doing Halloween, and that was it. And I think that we've seen that it's not a one-trick pony. I can only imagine this even being paired with other palettes, how beautiful it would be. This paired with the bronze palette, because these shades have undertones of grays and browns in them. It's weird. And I think that with the copper or the bronze palette, I think it would be a beautiful pairing. I think this with a pink palette would be a beautiful pairing because of some of the pinky undertones. It was just so versatile. So I think that this really needed to have a bit of a longer video, a bit of a more diverse video, in order to truly kind of test the palette and do, yes, it's a first impression because it's the first time I've used it, but kind of do an expanded first impression where we're really kind of going through the trials and errors and seeing what is this palette about? More than just the pretty, the looks, the ooh and ahs. What is the palette really about? You know, sometimes first impressions I think can just be that you put it on, it's like, oh, I love it, and then we never see it again. Where this, you really saw the struggle I had with it, me questioning myself, me questioning the palette, but I like the palette and I like her, but I mean, you really saw it, and I think that the expanded first impression was a really good route to go, and taking things from day to night and really seeing how it can work and how easily it can work for you, and kind of just some tips and tricks on things like liner and placement to really show you guys how you can enhance a look or what it does to close off your eye, and how that can be a look that you want if you're going for something like a glam look. So again, if you've made it this far, I truly appreciate it. Let me know down below if you have the glam palette, if you want the glam palette, if you like a good smoky eye, any tips and tricks you have for taking a look from day to night. Put them down below because I'd really love us to have a conversation about that. If you have any videos that maybe you've done on tips and tricks for taking looks from day to night, looks you've done from day to night, please let me know, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube. I would love to come by and support and see the looks that you have done. So guys, again, I appreciate you so much for sticking around with me. I love you. I love you. I love you. I will put the link to this palette in the information section of the description. It will be a magic link, so I do get a small commission if you choose to use that link and to be to Sephora. If you don't want to use it, that's okay, but it is there if you want to support me and the channel and get yourself the glam palette. So I love you guys. I'll miss you, and I'll see you in my next video. I love you guys. Bye.